So I finally got around to watching the Demon Slayer training arc, the Hashira training arc. In this season, it's about the Hashira's training, trying to become stronger to get their marks. Because apparently, in the heat of battle, like Tanjiro, he has that mark on his forehead, and it'll grow sometimes when he uses his Hinekami Kagura flaming sword technique. I'm not sure if I said that name right, but you know what I mean. That mark on his head will grow and he becomes stronger by activating his mark. And in the Swordsman Village arc, the Mist Hashira and the Love Hashira got their marks, and so the Hashiras trained to try and get their marks, the ones who don't have their marks, in order to have a better chance at defeating Muzan and his demon minions. As the season goes on, you see Tanjiro, mostly Tanjiro, Inosuke, and Zenitsu, and the rest of the Demon Corps members training, but Tanjiro trains under each single Hashira, and under each single Hashira, he gets put through rigorous tests, training regiments, and under each single Hashira, the Demon Corps members who are assigned to a certain Hashira, all of them like Tanjiro. Tanjiro's character makes me feel insecure because he's so good and nice all the time. He doesn't do anything bad. He doesn't say anything wrong. He's not an asshole. Not saying he needs to be an asshole. Who wants to see someone be a asshole to people? I'm just saying like an asshole in kind of like a busting balls type of way, right? Teasing. He's always willing to help and give his heartfelt, heroic speeches. Constantly tell people why this character was important, why that character is great, why we need this person. Don't talk about that person. Ugh. And it just makes me feel a little insecure, like, should I be this fucking nice? Why can't I be that nice? But it's not realistic. And the more I see Tanjiro's character, it just feels more and more unrealistic because no one is this damn nice, no one is this damn cool. Okay? Not everyone is going to like you. It seems like everyone likes Tanjiro, except for the people who are trying to kill him, the demons and that Wind Hashira. And while they're training, Muzan Kibuchutsi is looking for the Demon Slayer Corps, that demon with the, it's not a banjo, but who placed that thing in Infinity Castle shows up. He's using her millions of eyes. She has this ability to where she can summon these crawly demons with these eyeballs and look at people and follow them. Eventually, Muzan finds the mansion and the leader of the Demon Slayer Corps, and yeah, that's pretty much the summary of the season. I give this season a 5 out of 10. It was okay. For the most part, it felt like filler. There wasn't a whole lot of time put into this season. And when I say time, I don't mean like visually, the art, the animations, the fight scenes. I mean the dialogue between the Hashiras. So this is a season where we saw the Hashiras get some light. I came into the season thinking that I'm going to see the Hashiras act around one another. How do they talk to one another? How do they treat one another? Does one Hashira secretly dislike another Hashira? Or does that Hashira who dislikes the Hashira, maybe that Hashira doesn't dislike another Hashira. He or she envies the other Hashira. Do any of the other Hashiras have like beef with one another? I wanted to see more of how the Hashiras, more of the Hashiras' personalities, and the dialogue between one another, the relationship. I wanted the show to give a deep dive into their personalities and their personal lives, but you didn't get that. Oh, and I wanted to know more about the other Hashiras, their backgrounds. Now, in the Sword Village arc, it touched on the Mist Hashira's background, the Love Hashira's background, the Wind Hashira. He was involved in Ginya's background story, but the show didn't really touch on his background as far as like why is he this angry psychotic dude. And that's what he is to me. He's this angry psychotic person who doesn't care who he mangles in a fight, whether it would be a demon or a demon corps member. Why is he so angry? Why is he a psychopath? How the fuck did he become a Hashira? And then the Snake Hashira, he's a dick too, but also kind of a simp. He likes Miss Kanroji. How does Miss Kanroji feel about the Snake Hashira? How does the Snake Hashira talk to Miss Kanroji? Does he get flustered around her? Is he really protective of her? He is a simp, as I mentioned, as the kids say nowadays, but that word is not a new word. That word was around in like the 1980s. He was pissed at Tanjiro because Tanjiro was getting some attention from the Love Hashira, and the Snake Hashira is like all jealous. He wants the attention. I'm sure he wants to see her big titties, right? He was probably freaking out about that too. Like, what if Tanjiro sees them before I do? What if he touches them before I do? And he's an asshole to his demon core members too, like the Wind Hashira. The Water Hashira, Giyu, his past was revealed. When he was 13 years old, he met his friend Sabito. That's the swordsman that trained Tanjiro, the ghost swordsman, in season 1, that helped him cut that boulder. While training under Sakonji, and they became good friends due to their similar past and age. However, there was one incident where Giyu expressed a desire to be dead, causing Sabito to strike him across the cheek and threatened to stop being his friend. During the final selection, Giyu was injured after he encountered his first demon attack. He was saved by Sabito. After that, he went to save another boy. Giyu eventually loses consciousness. Once he awakens, he finds out that the final selection was over and his friend didn't make it. And ever since then, he's felt like he was not a true Hashira. His friend was supposed to be a Hashira. The Stone Hashira, okay, the last 2 episodes did save the season for me, because if the last 2 episodes didn't play out how they played out, I probably would have given this season like a 3 out of 10. But the Stone Hashira's background is touched on. He was raising these orphans, and then one of the orphans spotted by a demon. Demon was about to kill him, and so he went ahead and sold the other orphans out. The demon kills the children. The Stone Hashira puts his life on the line to protect this little girl, and he beats the shit out of this demon, punches him over and over and over again, and that's how he was able to unlock his incredible strength. Now, all of the backgrounds in this show are pretty much the same for the most part. Happy family, happy time. Demon shows up in the night, kills them all, but his was pretty dark. His stood out the most to me. And then the final episode where Muzan shows up, and I was like, well, at the end of episode 7, he shows up. The beginning of episode 8, they played his walk. They played the shit out of his walk. They should not have played it at the beginning of episode 8, because it took him like, what, 2.5 minutes to get to the leader of the Demon Slayer Corps? But I was like, yes, 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 yes. Finally, Muzan is here. I want to see what this motherfucker can do. I want to see what his powers are like. And we got a little taste of that towards the end. The last 2 episodes were great, and they really saved the show for me. As far as Tanjiro goes, and just like the characters in general, I mean, there isn't any growth in the characters as far as their personality and who they are as people. There's growth in their strength. When Tanjiro was under Tengen's watch doing his training, he was able to keep up with Tengen when they were, I don't know if I want to call wood sword fighting, sparring. When he was sparring with Tengen, he was able to keep up with him. And then when he went toe to toe with Tokito, the Mist Hashira, he was able to hold his own against him. Oh, and Zenitsu in episode 7 got a letter, and he was pissed. He wasn't really freaking out and all scared when the Infinity Castle opened up and all the Demon Slayer Corps members fell right through it. I think his master got killed. That's what I'm thinking. His master got killed, and someone from Muzan's demon cult was responsible for it. So I can't wait to see how that turns out with him, because his character is fucking annoying too. The constant screaming and yelling and freaking out. It's really annoying. It's really annoying. What else did I want to say about this show? So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say about this season. It should have been longer. It was 8 episodes. It should have gotten 24. But now the final battle begins, and the season, or the show, the series, will end with 3 movies. I can't wait. I hope that I'm able to see all of those movies. Can't wait to see what Muzan does. So I love how when the idea of training was brought up, it was like this new concept that no one really thought of. Oh, training to get stronger, to increase our chances of defeating Muzan, training our Demon Corps members to be about as strong as the Hashiras. Some of the characters heard about this training like they have never heard it before, or they have never done it before. I just wanted to give my thoughts on this season. Please like and subscribe. That is it, and I am out.